Hi YouTube, it's Joy. Okay, so I'm coming on today and I'm gonna do an ascended expression. And the expression for today is titled Love Language. Um, but there's something I wanted to say about love before I actually do the ascended expression, because I think that's the more bigger message. And if I don't say it before I give the ascended expression, it might not be picked up. So what I wanted to say before I actually read the ascended expression. And by the way, I'm going to do, I did have a few numbers today. So I'm going to say the numbers that I've got for today. And I have spirit animals actually to go with the numbers, of course. But I also have two cards that I pulled, but they correlate to the numbers of the spirit animals. And so that's the ones that I used for the message. And so I'm going to give that in just a little bit here. But I want to start by saying, okay, so I pulled a crystal for today to go with the messages and to go with the ascended expression love language. And it was Obsidian. And so when I did a little bit of reading about Obsidian and how to use, this particular crystal for whatever, you need to clear and its uses, it said it offers protection and grounding, and that kind of goes with the rest of the messages that I have for today. So you'll hear that again later on in the video. But protection, so that's a big thing. So but Obsidian offers protection and grounding, and it says use this as you would wear a necklace for peace, security, love, adorn you. So love adorn you, but peace and security. So Obsidian is used, and it was funny that I picked this because I actually planned to do love language to begin with. That was the ascended expression I was going to come on and do anyways. And so I said, well, let me just pull a crystal. And I said, I want the crystal to match the ascended expression and have some love connotation that is attached to it, and it does. So it's love adorn you, but it's for peace and security, protection, and it's actually number 27. So I did use that number. So that is one of the numbers for today, 27. And so what I did, because Obsidian is number 27, that I used out of this crystal that I have. But if you have the actual crystal itself, the actual Obsidian crystal itself, please use it and make a clear space. And when you do your meditation, make a clear space, put the Obsidian in the middle, and then call on it for these things, for peace, security, and that when you prior to you starting your meditation, and that it'll help clear that and make those areas in your chakras calm, and then add whatever it needs to add so that you feel it, so that you feel better. That's the whole purpose of pulling these crystals, is because you want to clear these areas of where there's issues. And if there's an issue of peace, if there's an issue of security, love, and that kind of thing, your heart chakras will be cleared. Your root chakra, which is your kundalini energy, which is in your genitalia, your female and male reproductive organs and stuff. That's your root. That's where your sexual energy comes from. Okay, down there. So if you have any of those issues that you want to clear, or just use on your meditation for today, that's Obsidian, okay? So I just wanted to say that, and it's number 27, and that's one of the numbers that I used to to match with a spirit animal. And actually, number 27 happens to match with ox. It was ox. So I'll get to that in just a second. Yeah. So the other numbers are 4 and 16, but I'll explain the 4 and the 16. I just explained where the 27 came from. It came from the Obsidian, and I used that, and it's actually the ox. But we have 4 and we have 16 as well, and 4 is the antelope, and 16 is the beaver. So those are the spirited messages from the animals that I'm going to read from in just a second. But I'll do that last. I'm going to do the ascended expression first. So yeah, I just wanted to say, 4, 27, and 16, in that order. 4, 27, and 16 are your numbers for today. And antelope, ox, Beaver are the animals that coincide with those numbers: 4 for antelope, 27 for ox, and 16 for beaver. Now, I just want to say, when I give y'all numbers, these aren't like numbers that you use to play. I mean, I guess you could, use them for whatever, lottery numbers or whatever. No, these are numbers that the cosmos, that source, gives to me to put out. And if these numbers um, resonate with you in any kind of a way, that is your cue to tune into that particular, like, okay, so the number 4, which is antelope. So if I say, the number, one of the numbers for today is 4, and you have 4 children, maybe listen to the spirited message that I read for the antelope, which is the number 4, and see if that has anything to do with your 4 kids. You know what I mean? There might be some issues that's going on with the kids, and when I read that particular message for that number, that's telling you which area needs the work. Okay, so that's how it kind of guides you. Or it don't have to be like how many kids. I just use that as an example. But like if you were born on the 4th, or you were born in the 4th month, something like that. If that is a significant number to your life, and I happen to mention that, as well as any of the numbers that goes with it, or if that's the only number I gave, then that's what that is. But that's how you use it. So like if there's the if I say 27, I'm going to use that because that's a number for today. So if I say 27, and like your parents' wedding anniversary is on the 27th of July or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like that's something significant. So that maybe mean you need to speak to your parents about something pertaining to either their wedding, their anniversary, or their just marriage period, or there's just something going on between your parents that you need to, speak about. Something like that. That's the purpose of the numbers. The numbers gives you guidance to what areas or something that needs to be addressed in your life. So that's why I give numbers. I just wanted everybody to understand that, because I don't think I've ever really explained the purpose for numbers. The purpose that I give numbers. Like, I don't necessarily know what anybody else does or how anybody else uses numbers, but I use them for the message that's attached to the number. And so the way that spirit gives it to me. And so I tell y'all. So I just want to clear that up. And then also when I do the cards too, okay, I just want to say, everybody, you all know by now, has male and female aspects about them. So like inside, you have male parts, you have female parts that's inside of you, whether you're a male on the outside or a female on the outside. You have feminine and masculine aspects to your being, to your vessel, and everything inside of you, okay? So when I say something and it's and I say like the King of Swords or whatever, but you happen to be a female and you say, well, it kind of resonates with me, but she said king, so I'm thinking of a man or something. Sometimes you tap in so much to your male aspect that you take on the King of Swords. So if I say something like that, but you're a woman and you're thinking, well, this really resonates, but she's saying king, and you're looking for a man, sometimes you are the King of Swords, like you're taking on that kind of energy. So that's what that means. Okay, so I just wanted to clear that up too as well. It's like when I'm giving these readings and giving these messages, and I say there's a like a younger male or something, most of the time it could be, but a lot of the time there are females who will take on certain characteristics or take over a certain kind of energy depending on what the situation is, whatever it is that they're going through at the moment. Man can take on a female energy, and just like females can take on a masculine energy. So, use it that way. Use it how it resonates with you. But just know that, male, female can be interchanged between people who are watching. So just wanted to put that out there. Okay, so back to the ascended expression, which is love language. I wanted to say before, okay, so like everybody, no one's the same. Everyone's different. Everyone's from different parts of the world. Everyone speaks different languages. Everyone communicates differently. Everyone understands differently, perceives differently. So we're all different, right? But my purpose for this whole video to begin with is to express love language, because no matter where you are in the world, or what language you speak, or what culture you belong to, or what religion you practice or whatever. Yeah, those are our differences. So that makes us different in ways where there may be blocks. There may be whatever, just because we don't understand. So those are barriers. Those are, sometimes things that keep us separated. But there's one language that is universal, and that's the language of love. Everybody understands love, no matter where they're from in the world, no matter what language they speak, what culture they belong to, what religion they ascribe to, like that. Like, love is universal, so everybody understands love. So that's why I put love out there so much, and like these expressions. It's not because I feel like everything is like rainbows and lilies like all the time. I realize you're gonna encounter people that differ from you, that don't share the same views as you, that don't share the same ideologies as you. That's okay. You can't connect with them because you don't speak the same language. They don't understand you. You don't understand them. That's okay. But everybody does understand love. And so my point for just saying all of this is okay, I'm going to give you an example. Even people you don't really vibe with, maybe you are having a disagreement with, or you just don't like them, they don't like you, it's understood. You could still send out love language even to those people. And the way you do that is respecting them. So like, even if I don't, excuse my language, if I don't fuck with you and you don't fuck with me, that's cool, okay? But we want to keep it at a love level where we can respect people's wishes, even, or not even wishes, but just ideas or opinions. Respect everybody's ways of thinking enough to the point where we're not disrespectful and sending out a non-love language. You want to keep love language open. Just because I don't agree with you don't mean I'm just going to send that, evil, hatred, energy towards you. No one has to do that, because if we all everywhere collectively can keep a love language flowing that's more on, the higher aspects of ourselves, we can all do this whole thing together. Like, even if you don't get along, even if you don't like them, because like I said, one way is to be respectful, to just, no, I don't agree with you, but I'm going to give you that respect because I'm showing love. That's my way of showing love. Even if I hate your guts, you know what I mean? Even if you hate my guts, like, I'm just going to be respectful, respecting your boundaries, respecting the people that you care for, or the people that care for you. That's a love language. That's saying like, okay, we don't agree. We may beef. We may even get into it. You know what I mean? Like physical or what have you. But my point for saying this is you have to at least put first the language of love, saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to give you space. You, as long as you stay over there and do what you do, I'll stay over here and do what I do. That's showing love. Because what you could do first is pop and then just make a situation that doesn't have to be. That could be the first response, and that shouldn't be. Never. So that's why I'm saying that. So like, if we're all speaking a universal love language, we always put the love first. Try to respect people's boundaries. Respect people's space, respect people's thoughts, opinions, ideas, like that. That's in a love language, even if you don't agree with them, even if they don't agree with you, even if they differ, even if you don't speak the same language or you can't understand. Everybody understands love. You put that out there and that circulates. So, like I said, if you, the instances of problems will be reduced if you start with a love language first and try to use that, because that's universal, whether you understand the person or not. Okay? So I just want to preface that, get that message out there before I say the ascended expression, which is love language. Okay, so now I'm off that. I'm going to get into it now. So it's love language is a ripple in time, crossing the line, moving the blocks with the hands on the clock. The distractions are over. They're now in the former. The focus is back on the things that are broader, like love in ways that is foreign to many, understanding that differences are going to be plenty, spanning for miles across the whole world, touching every soul, on our way to every man, woman, boy, and girl. That's the love language. It's a ripple in time, crossing the line, moving the blocks with the hands on the clock. The distractions are over, they're now in the former. The focus is back on the things that are broader, like love in ways that are foreign to many, understanding that differences are going to be plenty, spanning for miles across the whole world, touching every soul on our way to every man, woman, boy, and girl. That's the love language. Okay, so now, speaking of love and love language with our Obsidian stone for today, number 27, Obsidian. So, like I said earlier, 4 is the antelope, 27 is the ox, and 16 is the beaver. So I'll go ahead and read those spirit messages from the animals, starting with antelope. Now, we had antelope before, but I don't really remember what it said. It'll come back to me as I read it, I'm sure. Okay, antelope, number 4. It says, be cautious around anyone with harsh or aggressive energy. And if you find yourself in such a situation, surround yourself with golden light to physically insulate yourself. Pay attention to new opportunities that show up and take advantage of them. Whatever your heart's desire, make a clear and firm decision to begin it, and then go for it with gusto. Whatever you've begun, follow through and finish it as quickly as you can. You've been spending too much time in solitude and need to seek out the company of friends. And that's the antelope, number 4. Okay. Now I'm going to move it along, because this video is getting long. I didn't think it was going to take this long, but I'm just saying what I was told to say. So now we're moving on to the ox. Number 27, the ox. Hang on, y'all. Because I just flipped through this whole thing and I don't even see it. I told y'all I don't get on here, and I don't read these before I get on here, so like I literally just flipped through here and I can't find it, but it's got to be on here if I numbered it. So I just have to go back through really quick and see where I put it. So all right, hang with me. But what? Hold on, y'all. Wow. I have no idea where the heck it is. Oh, I found it. I'm sorry, y'all. Boy. It would have helped if I put the number on there. But okay, so it says the ox. Pursue the educational course you've been considering. Teamwork is the best way to achieve what you wish to accomplish. Draw on masculine energy, whether you're male or female. Now, wow. Okay, so, so you know how I said earlier, just a little while ago about, when I do the numbers, if it's referring to a male, or if I say the king of something or the queen of something, it could take on a different, the masculine or feminine aspect depending on which gender you are. And so that's just basically confirming that these messages are exactly what they're supposed to be, and they're tying into each other. So just listen to these messages. I know it took a long time to find the ox, but I apologize. But it says, pursue the educational course you've been considering. Teamwork is the best way to achieve what you want to accomplish. Draw on masculine energy, whether you're male or female. So that definitely ties into the message that I said before regarding how I figure out numbers and what numbers mean and stuff like that. So, yeah, now we're going to move on because I took so much time trying to find that thing. I apologize, like I said. So, next is the beaver. And it's number 16. And the beaver says, this is a time for purposeful and directed activity, not contemplation or procrastination. Balance your activities by providing time for resting and socializing with family and friends. Be especially aware of wasting time, energy, and resources on unimportant matters. Don't be busy for busy's sake. Let your actions be focused and intentional. It's time to change your environment in a way that makes you feel more secure and comfortable. Beaver, number 16. This is a time for purposeful and directed activity, not contemplation or procrastination. Balance your activities by providing time for resting and socializing with family and friends. Be especially aware of wasting time, energy, and resources on unimportant matters. Don't be busy for busy's sake. Let your actions be focused and intentional. It's time to change your environment in a way that makes you feel more secure and comfortable. So that message ties into this whole thing as well. So yeah, these are your numbers for today, and these are your animals: 4, 27, and 16, antelope, ox, and beaver. Because now I'm going to get to the 2 cards that I pulled. So the number 4, and that's how I got antelope, came up on your card for today, which is the Emperor. And as you can see at the top of the Emperor, this came from the angel deck, of course. This is the number 4, and I correlated the number 4 to antelope. And so this is the Emperor. Now, why I say that is because when I was just reading Beaver, it said the need for balance and stuff like that. Well, the Emperor does that. The Emperor provides balance. Now, and also I'm going to say your second card is Temperance, and I'll get to Temperance in a minute. But the first card, though, that I want to talk about is the Emperor. Now, the Emperor, like I said earlier, and this whole message has been about the male aspect specifically, and the Emperor is usually, because remember I said you can take on the masculine or feminine no matter which gender you are, but usually when we're talking about the Emperor, it is specific to a male, an older gentleman too at that, but it could be a female who takes on the Emperor energy. But when we're speaking about the Emperor, because he's so important, because he's so powerful, it's usually a man. Okay, but the Emperor, he provides balance through between heaven and earth. So like, as you can see, I don't know if it's coming up clear because of the glare of the light, but you can see above the head, you can see the halo. So the Emperor is an older gentleman who is the decision maker. He puts for lack of a better term, he puts the smack down. Like, what he says goes. The Emperor is a decision maker. The Emperor can be, like I said, it's usually an older gentleman. It's usually an older male. Also can be your father. So because they take on the leadership role, like the head of a family, that kind of thing. So usually it's either your father, the older guy, the older gentleman, or just somebody who runs a big business, like runs their own business, runs their own empire. That's the emperor, who leads, who gives out direction, who sets everybody straight, provides balance between like I said, the heavens and the earthly realm. So it's like things that are tangible and of this earth, and things that are just more spiritual. But he provides balance to those things, and by decision making, by making sound decisions, leadership decisions. That's the emperor. And Archangel Michael is at the top as well, as you can see. And I spoke in another video about Archangel Michael, like briefly, but like he provides protection too. And so and when you're calling on archangels, you call on for the things that you need help in, that you need guidance in, and wisdom. And being the emperor, they're smart, they're very wise, they make sound judgment. That's the emperor energy. And so when you're calling on like Archangel Michael, who is connected with the emperor, when you call, you're asking for help and guidance. That's specific in specific things like issues of trust and issues of protection, because they are protectors. The emperor are protectors. Security, that kind of a thing. Balance between, situations, setting situations straight. That's the kind of thing that so that's why the Archangel Michael is connected with the emperor, because he's the overseer of those kind of things, those issues. Okay, so that's the message that's been pretty much throughout this whole as I was given love language, and as I was given the spirit animals, is something about the father energy. It's something about the older male energy and balancing out issues and making sound decisions. So if that's an issue in your life, if that's something that's going on, focus greatly. Or this also can be your boss, like at your job. If you have a male boss, or just a very dominant female boss, she can also take on the emperor energy, but usually it's a male. So we're just going to say, your older boss gentleman that's trying to set things straight, maybe trying to make, right some wrongs, or your dad, like I said, your father, or you're the emperor yourself. If you're watching this, you are the emperor, and you're making these sound judgments and decision making, and taking on this energy right here. Okay, that's the message. So respect to the fathers, and respect for the elders that's doing those works right now. So, and I'll just read the bottom. It says organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. The Emperor, Archangel Michael. Organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. That's the Emperor energy. So that's your card, and that's number 4. Okay. And we're going to talk about Temperance too, because that was the card that came up as well. And this is number 16, and that's how we get the Beaver. The Beaver was number 16, but this is number 16 too, and it's Temperance. Now, Temperance is balance. Once again, coming up, because when I read that message, it also had stated something. When I read the message from the spirit animal, it's like, a need to have, balance and keep in balance. And that's what Temperance does. It maintains a balance. You see how in the picture she is. Now you notice the angels too. This is the second message of heaven and earth. She's also tempering or balancing out the energies between the heavens and the earth, making things more balanced, making things more in harmony. As you can see, she's got the 2 chalices, the 2 cups in there. She's containing the energies, and she's transferring one from the upper one, which would be the heavenly aspect, and then she's got it flowing right through, nice and clean and straight into the earthly aspects. So this is this whole thing, and like these cards are from 2 different decks, but they speak the same thing. So this is just basically telling me that there's an older gentleman who is in someone. So if you're resonating with this there's an older gentleman that's in your life, that's around you, or you are that person, and you're maintaining balance and making decisions that are just, and keeping things in harmony, doing it with direct leadership, direct authority, um, to the people that's involved in whatever it is, okay? And this is just saying that there is a need to have patience, temperance, balance, and harmony while these decisions are going on. So while the emperor is doing this decision making thing and trying to, maintain this proper leadership and guidance for whatever situation is happening, there's also calling for balance and temperance from everyone that's involved. And this card here, Temperance, is specific to the sign of Sagittarius. So if there's a Sag that's like, or you are the Sag, or there's one in your environment, it's just saying that kind of fire, and that's a Sagittarius is fire energy, of course, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but specifically Sagittarius for Temperance. It's just saying that there's either that person is taking on the role of providing the balance, or assisting the emperor with the balance, or the emperor is balancing out this Sagittarian this fire energy. Okay, but that's what this is. But it's just calling for harmony. It's calling for balance, patience, that kind of thing with the situation that may be happening. And that's how I'm getting it. That's how I'm reading it. And I only did those two cards. So it's the Emperor and the Temperance. So whatever situation you may be facing or going through, or that's being corrected, directed. And the Emperor, I just want to say, is also could be a government agency, or possibly courts, or that they take on the Emperor energy as well. So if there's something that's happening legally or something like that, that's the energy of that as well. Okay, so just everybody have patience, though. Everybody have temperance, and there will be harmony. There will be a maintenance of organization, because that's what the Emperor does too. He's an organizer, so there will be organization, there will be structure, but you're gonna have to be patient while this happens, or you're gonna have to assist the Emperor in doing these things and getting this done. Okay, that's the message. Okay, all right, so that's it. That's all I really got. I think I pretty much touched on everything and said everything I wanted to say. This is a long video, and I think I'm off it. Okay. So I hope you guys got something from it. I hope it was enough, and I hope it helps. I love you, and that's it. I'm off it. Thank you.